Well, the dream of qualifying for the round of 16 may be over, but let's just qualify for the playoffs. Hello, welcome to Club 3, part 15 of the Globe Explorer. Coming up in today's episode, we do have our final league phase game of the Champions League against Shamrock Rovers. Then we'll also have our first division game or a league match against Getafe, and hopefully we also find out who will be playing in the playoffs of the Champions League, hopefully. But since the last episode, we played quite a lot of games of football. Obviously, in the last episode, we saw Man United and Atletico Madrid. Since then, form has pretty much flipped on its head. Obviously, in the last episode, we went on, well, previous to the last episode, we went on a bit of a rough patch. But since then, it's been absolutely brilliant. We've actually won 6 league games in a row. This is absolutely amazing. We started off beating Almeria, Vallecano, Vigo. We did get knocked out of the Spanish Cup, but I go hold my hands up. We were playing a very rotated team. We were playing a 16-year-old, 18-year-old in goal, which who does look pretty decent. But I think I'm not too fussed about the Spanish Cup. The board weren't too pleased, but I couldn't care less about it. As long as we qualify for Europe at the end of the season, it ain't gonna mean anything. Then January, pretty decent month, beating the likes of San Sebastian, Mallorca, both 1-0. We did draw against Apoel in the Champions League phase. Obviously, if we had won that, we might have still had a chance to qualify for the round of 16. But as long as we get through to the knockouts, it's not going to be the end of the world. Then we just beat Granada 2-1, where in a game where we were 1-0 down, but thankfully Firmin got a late winning goal. So this is the league phase of the Champions League at the moment as we speak. We're currently 17th. Haven't qualified just yet for the next round, but we're one of the few teams that haven't qualified for the playoffs just yet, including Tottenham, who might not even qualify depending on who they have. They might not qualify because they've got PSG. That would be a very Spursy thing to do, not to qualify for the next round. That would be absolutely amazing. But we're on course for the playoffs in the league, the Spanish league table. We're currently 7th in the league. Obviously, in the last episode, we were like 15th, 14th. We were mid-table. And now, because of the great run we've been on, climbing back up the table slowly. Now into 7th, 37 points. We are 4 points behind San Sebastian, 5 points behind Real Madrid. Barcelona's out of sight, so we're not even going to bother looking at that. The goal is very much to qualify for the Champions League. At least that's what the board want. The board want Europa League, which I think is definitely doable. They're unhappy that we didn't reach the latter stages. I mean, if we took the Spanish Cup seriously, which we might do next year, I reckon we could go and win it next year, possibly. But who knows? Who knows? We haven't done any transfers, by the way. January's been quite a boring month in terms of transfer business. So this is the lineup for our match against Shamrock. It will be Sissoko in goal, back for Boateng, Dermas, Guga, Leno, Prente at the base of the midfield. Then ahead of him, we've got Costa Silva and Hernandez. Smear is out on the right hand side. Pablo Garcia on the left. Then we've got Victor Roque up front. We do have 2 players retiring at the end of the season. Firmin, we've known, has been retired for absolute ages. Mathieu is also retiring. Didn't realise he was that old. I thought he's just turned 30, but no, he's 35. He will be retiring at the end of the season, so we'll have to look out for a new goalkeeper. We do have Pablo who's down in the under 19s or the B team, so he could potentially be a second choice goalkeeper. His current ability is the second division, so he might be good enough to be a backup, or he might be just a little bit too young to be a backup yet at the moment. So possibly a loan move could be in the near future. And speaking of loan moves, the 3 players we sent on the out on loan, so that was, if I can remember, Dionisio, Sergio the centre back, and Alberto Barbero, all doing very, very well on the loan spells and could potentially feature in the first team squad possibly next season. Definitely Dionisio, possibly, because obviously Victor Roque, as we have given him a new contract, same wages, just a 1 year extension. And the others, I think there's quite a few that are out of contract or waiting to be decided, because I ain't got a clue who's going to be staying at the beyond this season. Obviously, we're going to lose the likes of Furman and Petier due to retirement. I don't think any of the other players are close to retirement. I know Pablo Garcia is getting on a bit. 33 years old. He's another player who is out of contract. I don't know if we do extend his contract, because obviously we've got Alberto Barbera, who's quite capable of playing first choice football next season. So we've still got 40 million left to spend, which I haven't spent any of it in January. So we might do a pre-summer sort of transfer window prep. But I think that's probably what we'll end up doing, because if we're in good form like this, winning games quite easily, I'm not too fussed if we don't win today. Obviously, we are winning. Who scored? Hernandez. I couldn't quite remember who scored. I wasn't really paying too much attention, but I reckon we might do a lot of business before the summer transfer window. We might still get a couple players in, but I don't really see that happening. If we do sell players, it'd probably be I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know if maybe Garcia could be potentially go, because obviously if he is out of contract, don't really want to lose him on a free transfer. I think there might be one player that could potentially go next year. That's probably Sergio, the right winger, because he's not really getting any game time, and he's still pretty decent, but he's just not getting it here, because Manasmir is just absolutely brilliant. That could have been 2-0, but we're actually performing quite well this first half, and I would expect so, because Shamrock, they're totally not good enough for the Champions League. They're rock bottom, only managing to get the 1 point. Whoever that is against, I do not know. If it's against one of the big teams, that would be absolutely insane. But I presume it's probably against one of the rubbisher teams who are not even going to qualify for the playoffs. Hernandez down to Silva. This is looking fairly positive. Obviously, we will probably give it around 15 minutes before we make our first couple of changes. Garcia goes into the area. Now to Leno. Hernandez. This is looking very positive. Brente with the long range effort clips the top of a crossbar. Did we win a corner out of that? I think the goalkeeper might have just got a touch. I don't know how the playoffs work. I presume we are going to qualify for them now, because I don't see us bottling this game. We've got a penalty. We have got a penalty. I mean, that is just absolutely crazy, because I didn't really see much in the area, unless there must have been like a slight shove or handball. I don't really know how we got that penalty, but I'm not complaining. We've got the spot kick. Pablo Garcia does step up. He puts it into the top right-hand corner. Clearly he saw something, because if he didn't see anything, he probably would have put it wide or something. But we are 2-0 up. Pablo Garcia with the penalty kick. And that is probably our spot in the playoffs, which I don't know how they work. I don't know if we play the team just above us or just below us in the table, or it's a complete randomised draw. So we'll have to see how that works. Hernandez with the goal, and he does put us 3-0 up against Shamrock Rovers. 35 minutes left to go of the second half, and that is very much the game all wrapped up. What are Tottenham doing? That's what I want to know. Are Tottenham, not that I care about Tottenham, I absolutely hate Tottenham. They're a horrible team, and they're a rubbish team. I reckon they probably won't go down in the Premier League. It probably will be West Ham, which is painful to say, because I do like West Ham, but yeah, I think Tottenham probably will end up staying up in the Premier League, whether I like it or not. Obviously, they've just appointed De Zerbi. See how long he lasts. Probably less than a year. That's what I'm expecting. They've just given him a 5-year contract, which is absolutely crazy. Guga has been found. I think we probably should make a couple changes. Leno is going to make way for Atta Senor, who has been getting a bit of game time recently. He is improving. I think he probably is one of those players that probably will move on in the summer, even though he's literally just arrived in last summer. So I think he'll probably end up going. And I think for the other change will be Garcia off for Bernal, who's not really improving, but he's not really getting guaranteed game time week in, week out. He's just getting sporadic appearances off the bench. So there's a slight chance we could potentially loan him out and might recall Alberto, whatever his name, Alberto. I know his name's Alberto. I can't remember his last name, but there could be a slight chance we could recall it. But Bernal has just scored an absolute brilliant of a goal, and that does put us 4-0 up with 30 minutes left to go. He's being checked by VAR. The goal has been awarded, and since the update, the offside VAR checks has been remarkably updated. I think he's there. That's definitely. If it fell to Victor Roque, yeah, definitely offside. But Enrique Bernal, absolute brilliantly timed run, and what a finish! First time, didn't even bother taking the touch to control the ball. That is absolutely wonderful. Costa Silva with a free kick. He doesn't shoot, but Victor Roque does shoot, and he does clip the top of the crossbar. It's a shame it didn't go into the back of the net, because that would have been an absolute brilliant goal. Smiris has got the corner. He makes a decent delivery. Couldn't quite find a Betis player, but it does fall to Hernandez. Now to Senore. Come on. Or Senior. I don't really know what his last name pronunciation is. Because if he is Spanish, it's obviously Ata Senore, but I don't think he is. I don't think he is Spanish. He's Ghanaian, so we'll just call him Senior for now. But Senore sounds far much better. King with the ball for Shamrock. They do have a set piece. I doubt they're going to do much. If they get a goal, we'll let them have a goal, because I don't want to be a bad guy and absolutely smash them. So we'll let them get a goal. Let them feel good about themselves, but I don't think they will get a goal. That was their first shot on goal, and it was nowhere near. We are going to make a couple more changes. Prente is going to make way for Mirin. I think Aurelio also comes on, who hasn't been getting much game time at all, even though he is 3 stars of capability. I think he probably would. I think he'll probably move on in the summer. I think we can probably get in another wonder kid. Obviously, we do have Sergio coming back on loan, so he'll definitely be in the first team or in and around the first team squad next season. So there's probably arguments that we sell Aurelio and probably don't bother getting in another centre-back, especially with Sergio. Obviously, I think the centre-back partnership next year probably would be Sergio and Dervis, because Dervis is probably primarily a ball-playing centre-back, but we've been training him up as just a normal centre-back. And then we've got Sergio, who's primarily a normal centre-back, but can probably play as a ball-playing centre-back. So I think we should be fine in defensively for centre-backs next year. It's just the fullbacks that are a problem. We've got 2 decent ones in the names of Leno and Boateng. Then the 2 backups, Senore and Chong, not so great. So I think that definitely needs improving over the course of the summer. We might do some transfers within the week we have left of the January transfer window, but I haven't really given it any thought, considering in the great form we have been in. So I don't think I don't know what's going to happen in terms of transfers in January. So we might have 1 player join us before the next game. We might have 0. So I wouldn't expect anything. So where was Tottenham? Oh no, you got to be joking. Tottenham are beating PSG. That is absolutely hideous. But what is going on in that game? I want to know what's going on. Who's beating who? How far are Tottenham ahead? Tottenham are 3-0 up against PSG. I thought PSG were meant to be a good team, but they're struggling against Tottenham, and that can't be good. Or PSG have really fallen off the pace, but I don't think they are. Bernal has got the ball now to Senore. Come on, Vermeeren with the strike. Tries to go for the top. We've had a lot of shots today that have gone close to the top right corner. I don't know if that's saying something about the Shamrock goalkeeper, but I suspect that's probably his weaker side. So that's why we've scored so many goals from that side of a goal. And that is a brilliant result. Do we find out who we're playing now, or do we have to wait for a little bit? When do we find out? When is the draw date? If there is a draw date, can we see? I don't know if we can see. I don't know as all the teams play, all the teams are playing, but I want to know who we get, which I don't think is going to say. If it does say between now and the next game, obviously I will let you know, but let's just hope we carry on this winning momentum with a win against Getafe. The lineup for our match against Getafe will be Sissoko in goal, a back four, Boateng, Guga, Dervas and Leno, Prenti at the base of the midfield. Then ahead of him, we've got Costa Silva and Hernandez, Sergio on the right, Pablo Garcia on the left. Then we've got Mikel Shenson up front. We have had a bit of a J Maidman. He's one of the players who is out of contract. I'm not really too fussed if he leaves us or not. It's the end of a contract offer, so I'm not willing to give him a contract because he is asking to be a star player and he's barely get any game time this season. So I think he probably does go at the end of his contract, whether that be to Newcastle. I do not know. So I don't think he'll be with us for next season because he is 32, so he is getting on a bit, even though he's only had like 8 seasons in like professional football, which doesn't really make any sense. But if we can get a win today, that would be absolutely brilliant. Boateng with the ball. He's got the ball. Mikel Shensu, 20 seconds on the clock, and we are 1-0 up against Getafe. I don't really have a clue where they are with the table. I haven't really looked at the table prior to today's match. Whereas I know we're 7th. We're now 6th because of that goal, but I don't know where Getafe are. I don't know if they're just below us or they're in a relegation battle, which I think they probably will be in a relegation battle by the end of the season. So I reckon they'll go down. That could have been a goal for Getafe. We are on an attacking mentality, which does suggest they are bottom of the league, but that's not why we're playing them. We're playing them because we know if we carry on winning, we can potentially pose a threat to the likes of Real Madrid. We're not going to catch Barcelona this season, but I reckon if we keep winning, obviously we still have Barcelona left to play, but I don't think we're going to beat them. Last time we played them, we lost like 4-1 against them, so I think we're far from beating them. So, but if we can just keep on improving every game, and Bruno Leno puts the ball into the back of the net to make it 2-0, this is absolutely spectacular. Why would we expect anything from this from a team that's the bottom of the league, and we're absolutely thrashing them? As long as we keep on winning, as long as we qualify for some form of European football, preferably Champions League or Europa League, because if we qualify for the conference, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if the board sack me or what, but I'm hoping that doesn't happen. But I think judging by our decent form, and as long as the form keeps on going until we play the big teams like Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, I'm fine with losing them matches. I just want to beat the teams in and around us. Maybe Bilbao as well, but I think we can definitely beat Bilbao. They're not a great team. They're not the best three in the league. No way. Guga with the ball now to Boateng. Sergio, this is looking lovely play. Jensen drops back, plays the ball to Hernandez. This is looking very positive. Hernandez with the long range effort, and we do let fire a few times from long range. Most of the time they don't go in, but sometimes they do. And that one wasn't one of the goals. Prente does have the ball. Are we going to do anything with the ball, or are we just going to camp out in their own half? Leno has got the ball. Will he cross the ball into the box? He does. Tries to find Sergio at the back post, but Sergio wasn't really looking like getting the ball. But he did get the ball from the crossing position, which was a decent ball into the box, but we just couldn't quite get the ball on target. But we've got 5 minutes left to go on the first half, 2-0 up, so it's still looking very, very good. That's a great ball. Jensen, Costa Silva hits the post and it does fall to Sergio, and he puts the ball into the back of the net to make it 3-0 to Real Betis. This is absolutely wonderful. If we could play like this every game, albeit every team is not going to be bottom of the league, but if we can perform like this every game, which most games we do perform quite well in, we might not get the result, but we do perform well. The performances are there, but as long as we can put in the shots and put in the effort, I reckon we can definitely finish in the Champions League spots once again, and hopefully next season pose a bit more of a threat, because I think that's the plan. We'll do a bit of transfer business before the summer, maybe bring in a few youngsters, possibly. Leno has got the ball out to Prente. This is looking very positive. Roman Prente was probably one of the players I thought we'd have a few offers for during January, but we haven't had that many. Even if we did have offers, they weren't like acceptable offers, and he's got release clause. If people want to go, just pay their release clause. I mean, he's got release clause of 100 million. It's not worth that much, but if I wanted him that badly, I'd pay his release clause. But I don't think teams are willing to do that. When how much is he actually worth? I don't know how much he's worth. I don't think you can check that in game, but he's worth at least 40 million in my eyes. Maybe a bit more than that. Certainly after the goal, well, it's definitely 50 million. Right, we are going to make a couple changes. Boateng is going to make way for Ramiro Chong, who is still here. He will be here for the remainder of the season and will probably end up going in the summer. Hernandez is also going to make way for Firmin. I think Firmin, he's probably more useful as a training midfielder. His attacking midfielder days are definitely over, because when Belotta plays as a attacking midfielder, my good God, he is absolutely amazing. We probably might end up getting him on towards the end of the game, but we'll see who else is looking tired. Prente with a decent ball forward, very good. Lee Chong has got the ball, carries on his run forward, does find Costa Silva. This is looking very positive. Will it be a fifth goal of the day for Real Betis? Costa Silva with the shot. That was a brilliant shot, looking towards the bottom left-hand corner, but a good save from the Getafe goalkeeper, who is I saw at the corner of my eye, he's rated a 7.7. That is absolutely insanity. He's conceded 4 goals. How can he be re-rated nearly an 8? That is just absolutely ridiculous. And Sergio's picked up an injury. I hope it's not too serious, but he is rolling around the floor in some agony. We might have to get him off. I think we'll just get him off, just to be on the safe side, because I don't really want to lose him, because he is a good right winger. Not as good as Spearis. Spearis, I think, is far better, or Spearis will become far better. They're similar now, but Spearis in a couple of years' time, it'll be a world beater, I reckon. I think we will make another change. I think we'll also get off. Leno can make way for Atta Senore. I mean, we are 4-0 up, so Senor can come on and hopefully not too much damage defensively. Their goalkeeper, now rated an 8, has picked up an injury. The left back is another one that's rated too high for my liking, 7.2. That is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, our centre back partnership barely averaging 7. That is just I don't think they've been tested at all, but that is just who comes up with these averages? I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. And Pratt has scored a goal for Getafe just to make it 4-1. 5 minutes left to go. I don't think it's going to be very much a consolation goal at the moment. Spearis has got the ball. This is looking, I wouldn't say fairly positive, but we're not really posing any attacking threat just yet, but Firmin has got the ball. This is looking very positive. Senore has the chance to put the ball into the box. Goes to Firmin, now to Spearis. He goes to Lee Chong. That was a decent shot, a great strike. Had a good save from the Getafe goalkeeper. Yeah, to be fair, their goalkeeper made some decent saves. I can see why he's been rated an 8, and probably their best player on the pitch. We've got another penalty. Or first penalty of the game. Have we had a penalty this game? I might have been a bit confused with the previous game, but it is another penalty, and we have been awarded it. Who's taking? Pablo Garcia steps up for his second penalty in the episode. Will he score it? I hope so. Yes, he does. He puts it into the top right-hand corner to make it 5-1 to Real Betis. Absolutely Wonderful stuff. We don't need to watch that replay again, but it's a very good penalty. The goalkeeper got nowhere near it. That's a good save from Sissoko. He's a player who I didn't think he'd be first choice this season, but he's been absolutely brilliant for us. He's getting better and better each season. Not each game, just each season. He keeps getting better and better. Obviously, he's not the first choice goalkeeper for ever, but I'm sure we'll find another goalkeeper as good as him. But Sissoko, what a goalkeeper he is. I just wish he could have kept a clean sheet. Sergio, just a bruised ankle, 1 to 3 days. It could have been a lot worse. Francis Boateng, a tight hamstring, 1 to 2 days, so nothing to worry about there. So Leno, absolutely wonderful. I don't know how much we'll see of him. I don't know if he's first choice next year. I think he will still be here, but he might not be first choice for much longer. But as long as this form keeps on going, we have dropped down to 7th, I presume, because Sevilla must have won. There must have been other shenanigans. We still don't know who we're getting in the Champions League, which is slightly alarming, but I don't know when the draw is. Although the draw will be done tomorrow, so we might as well just find out now. Then we'll wrap up the episode from there. And Newcastle are about to sign. Newcastle are signing Maitland. We could sell him now, but our transfer window is shut, so that'd be completely ridiculous. So we do get Sporting in the Champions League. So I think that is I don't know too much about Sporting, but I think that's a winnable tie. I think we'll probably just end up doing both legs. If we go out, we go out. Actually, you know what? Scrap that. We'll do the second leg, but we'll come back for our game against Real Madrid, because obviously everyone loves a Real Madrid tie. And we'll also come back for our second leg against Sporting. If you have enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more Daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.